Welcome back to Breakfast Television. Sleep Week continues here on BT, and as we get ready for the clocks springing forward this weekend, this morning, naturopathic Dr. Beverly Huang is here now with some natural products that can help you get to sleep and stay asleep. That would be the ideal thing, wouldn't it?
It would be.
So
Absolutely.
nice to have a glorious sleep. So where should we start?
Well, typically we start with kind of what defines what's a sleep issue to begin with. So it can be, as you mentioned, either difficulty falling asleep or staying asleep, right, but then how it rolls over and how it affects your next day. Okay. So when it starts affecting people's day-to-day lives, then typically they're doing something about it. So,
okay, terrific. Yeah. Okay, so you're saying starting with a sleep mask is a good place to...
Like a sleep hygiene kind of routine. So we just talked about... the daylight, going to bed at early times, kind of working shift work and things like that.
Yeah.
So using like those room darkening curtains or a sleep mask, which is the one that I borrowed from my daughter today, or even creating kind of an environment that allows us to be a bit more sleepy. So maybe into a routine where you might be having a cup of tea, doing some meditation, maybe putting on a diffuser with some nice oil, taking a bath, and just kind of create that ritual before bed, being routine about what time we're going to bed, what time we're waking up throughout the week as well.
Giving your body that signal that it's like, okay, it's time to go to rest.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Terrific.
And speaking about bedtime, I always talk about what's an appropriate bedtime. And so when people are having difficulty falling asleep, so if you're kind of lying in bed and you're not able to fall asleep, I kind of ask people, well, just observe your evening and just see, is there a little window there where you might be a little bit more tired, but then you kind of push through it so you can like do that last chore or watch that next show type thing. And typically what happens, that second wind kicks in. And when that second wind kicks in, it's basically like a cortisol surge that kind of like allows us to be a little bit more alert or a little bit more...
This reminds me so much of sleep training the kids.
Kids, totally.
Yes.
Like if you walk through like Market Mall at 8:30 p.m., you see that little 2-year-old running around. Like that's his little second wind.
Right.
And no matter what the parent does, they won't be able to get that child to bed until that second wind burns out. So as adults, we do that as well. So if you kind of observe your evening, there's probably a little bit of a window.
Yep.
And if you can get to bed during that time, you'll probably kind of fall into that. Yeah.
Okay,
because of that rhythm that we have during, like that circadian rhythm that we have that allows us to be asleep during the night and awake during the day.
Okay, terrific. Now let's talk about melatonin, because this is kind of a go-to, isn't it?
Yeah. Honestly, I find it's a bit of a hit or miss.
Oh, okay.
So I find it works best for people dealing with jet lag, shift work for sure, or someone to just get back into the routine where they've been out of their sleep routine for a bit. So the starting dose is usually anywhere between 3 to 5 milligrams.
Okay.
There's numerous studies showing its efficacy, but honestly, it's just a matter of it's the right fit for you.
For you. Okay, so if that's not working, what have we got here?
So magnesium. Magnesium is one of the essential minerals that our body requires huge amounts of. So we require it to make energy in the body, but it's also important for it to create the right hormones in our brain to get that deep restorative sleep. So we talk about like magnesium-rich foods, so whole grains such as quinoa, your dark leafy greens, bananas, nuts and seeds. Even dark chocolate can be high in magnesium, even though I don't really recommend it right before bed because that caffeine
a little bit of caffeine
but just kind of being aware to include some more magnesium-rich foods in your diet.
Into your diet.
If not, we're looking at a supplement, and magnesium really comes in a number of different forms. So I brought kind of like a powder liquid, a topical oil, a capsule. It's really working with your doctor to figure out what the right form of magnesium is for you.
Okay. Yeah. And then if we're finished with magnesium, what else do we need to look at?
Yeah, we need to be looking at stress, so other factors. So really, if there's difficulties with sleep, it's typically a symptom of something else. So whether it be higher levels of stress, a little bit more anxiety that we might be carrying, maybe a little bit too much caffeine that we're having during the day. So I say to patients, there's 1,001 different ways to deal with stress. It's figuring out what's the right fit for you. Some of my favorites are like a high-quality B complex, some botanicals like rhodiola or withania, or even using something like a chewable theanine, which can help just calm the mind a little bit so that we can kind of better manage those stress techniques that we try to during the day.
And it's really important then to have that conversation with your healthcare provider about what's going to work for you specifically.
Because everyone has a different pattern of where their sleep is difficult, or maybe different stressors that might come up, different times of the year, different work deadlines that we might have as well.
So have that conversation. There's lots of things you can do to get that better rest. Beverly, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Leah. Thank you for having me.
All right, well, we're going to go for a break here on BT. When we come back, more news, weather, and traffic. Stay with us. We'll be right back.